Hey, my name's Daisy from CrossFit Koinonia.
And I'm Charles. We're so excited you're here to dive into how to create a winning mindset. At CrossFit Koinonia, we've partnered with Healthy Steps Nutrition to support our clients using a framework that's guided, tested, and proven.
We believe something as fundamental as nutrition shouldn't be complicated, which is why we focus on a simple, habit-based approach.
But we know that helping you become the best and healthiest version of yourself isn't just about what you eat or going to the gym a few hours a week. We also must focus on a holistic approach addressing nutrition, stress management, mindset, support system, and lifestyle.
So looking into creating your own success story. We know that while this is simple, it is far from easy. With determination, resilience, and growth-oriented mindset, you can overcome obstacles and achieve your definition of success.
Today, we're going to dive into how to create a winning mindset. Your health and wellness journey will be full of surprises, and we want you to believe in your abilities, persist through setbacks, and stay focused on your goals.
So creating a winning mindset can greatly contribute to achieving success and reaching your goals. It involves developing certain attributes, beliefs, and habits that can help you approach challenges, setbacks, and goals within a positive and determined mindset.
Ultimately, cultivating a winning mindset is about maximizing your potential, embracing growth, and striving to be the best version of yourself. It empowers you to overcome obstacles, achieve success, and lead a more fulfilling and purposeful life, which sounds a lot like the reason our gym exists. So let's get right to 3 tips to help cultivate a winning mindset.
Tip number 1, start by defining a clear, specific goal that you want to achieve. When it comes to defining goals, it can be helpful to follow the SMART framework. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
Knowing your why is important. When you have a clear understanding of why you're pursuing a goal, it fuels your motivation. Your why acts as a powerful source of inspiration, reminding you of the meaningful reasons behind your actions. This motivation helps you stay focused, overcome obstacles, and persist even during challenging times. Asking yourself this question, how will my life improve when I reach this goal? Whether that be a relationship goal, day-to-day activities at home and work, a nutrition or fitness goal, anything like that.
Outcome versus process goal. Outcome is the objective point in which you determine if you reach your goals or not. Progress goal is what are the things you need to do each day to achieve your goals.
At CrossFit Koinonia, we call the process goals the habits and action steps that you'll take daily to reach your goals. Ultimately, if you fall in love with the process, your outcome goals, whether that be losing weight, gaining muscle, getting your first pull-up, or anything like that, they just happen. When you focus on that process, the outcome takes care of itself. In order to create the appropriate process goals, you need to know where you're headed. That's the outcome.
Taking steps consistently can be more effective and sustainable than trying to make drastic changes all at once. That's why at CrossFit Koinonia, we focus on one small habit at a time.
I really love this illustration here of the great big steps versus the little steps. When you look at Instagram or other stuff like that on social media, a lot of times you don't see the small steps along the way that it actually takes to achieve a big goal. And so that illustration on the right really kind of drives it home. It sometimes isn't all that exciting, but it's what works. So there's a big difference between what people think works and what actually works. So tip number 2, planning for success is an essential step towards achieving your goals and realizing your aspirations. Here are some key elements to consider when you're creating your plan for success.
Understanding willpower. So what's willpower? It's what comes to the mind. Well, what comes to the mind when you hear the word willpower? Determination, drive, self-discipline, self-control. The list goes on and on. But psychologists, hard word there, characterize willpower in a more specific way, such as conscious, effortful regulation of the self by self. The capacity to override an unwanted thought, feeling, or impulse.
At its essence, willpower is the ability to resist short-term temptations in order to meet long-term goals. And it's kind of a mouthful earlier, but that's kind of what it boils down to. It's important to note that willpower alone may not always be sufficient to achieve long-term goals. I found that to be true in my life, that if I'm just depending on willpower to do something or to not do something, that can be a real recipe for disaster. So, setting up your environment to align with your goals can significantly increase your chance of success. Here are some strategies to help you create an environment that supports your goals. Have you ever heard of the old saying, out of sight, out of mind? I know I'm old, and so I brought that up. But out of sight, out of mind, it helps you identify potential distractions in your environment and take steps to minimize or eliminate them. This could involve keeping tempting foods hidden in your pantry or having healthy foods front and center. It can also mean just not bringing the stuff that you don't want to eat, not even bringing it in the house. Because if it's not here, it's a whole lot harder to be tempted by it.
Yep. So maybe one of your goals is to start exercising in the morning. One helpful reminder might be to lay out your clothes and sneakers the night before next to your bed. It'll serve as a reminder to get up and get moving, and it's already there and ready, so a lot quicker to get there. So you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So be intentional about choosing relationships that are positive, supportive, and aligned with your values and goals.
Surround yourself with people who inspire, challenge, and motivate you to become the best version of yourself. That little tip about setting your clothes out before you go to bed the night before, even though I'm going to work out in the morning and it's not really a willpower, that's what I love to do, but I still get my stuff out the night before because it makes the morning go so much smoother. So I can imagine if it's something that you're not sure you're going to do, getting that stuff laid out the night before can make a big difference. So going on to tip number 3, create a daily reminder. Seeing daily reminders can provide a boost of motivation and inspiration. They serve as visual cues that remind you of the reasons why you set those goals in the first place. This can reignite your enthusiasm and drive, especially during challenging times or when progress feels slow.
So how do we make it obvious? Some studies estimate that an average adult makes around 2,000 to 10,000 decisions a day. That's a lot of decisions.
It's a lot of decisions.
These decisions can include what to wear, what to eat, which route to take on the way to work, how to prioritize tasks, and so on. All the decisions we make in day to day, why not make healthy choices the easy choice? Here's an example. So if you're wanting to create a habit of morning exercise routine, find an accountability partner, block off a time in your schedule, so have that certain time already set there that's what you're going to do at that time. Register for the class the night before, or tell one of us like, hey, I'm coming to class in the morning. And then pack your gym clothes or set them out the night before.
Yeah, and I mean that can make a big difference. So if you tell somebody, like all of our classes have a really cool accountability thing that goes on inside the class. You don't have to schedule our classes or reserve a spot, but you can let us know, like Daisy said, let us know you're coming and say, hey, I'm going to text you when I'm on my way. That gives you I told Daisy I was going to text her when I was on my way to the gym or something like that. Or one of the other folks in the class. We have several people that have found workout buddies that if they're not there, then their workout buddy will text them and say, hey, where are you? It makes a big difference in whether or not if you're not feeling quite up for it, but hey, I know John's counting on me being there, then I'll tend to show up more. So remember though, we're not robots. So distractions, interruptions, or just not being able to pronounce a word right will happen. And what's important is to understand progress isn't a straight line from point to point, but rather a dynamic process that involves growth, adaptation, and resilience. So progress, it's not just a constant upward climb. It will be lots of ups and downs, but over time, it will be in the positive direction.
Remember that focusing solely on the number on the scale can be misleading and demotivating. Celebrating the non-scale victories can provide a broader perspective of your progress and help you stay motivated on your journey towards improved health and fitness. We always say small victories always count the small wins. So that could be better mood, increased energy, confidence, sleep, decreased inches. You'll see inches before pounds.
Yep.
Increase strength, health, and relationships.
And if you're in a better mood, that might help to improve relationships.
Yeah,
So it could
probably so.
it could so these things could compound on each other. So remember, staying positive is continuous practice. Be patient with yourself, embrace self-care, and approach your journey with a mindset of self-love, acceptance, and gratitude. By reinforcing positive thoughts and beliefs, you'll experience increased motivation, focus, and resilience, leading to improved performance and increased chances of achieving your goals. So these positive affirmations that are listed here, you can come up with your own. These are a couple of examples, but you can, one really good practice, and this sounds a little silly sometimes to people that haven't done it, but it's to actually say them out loud. You can do it while you're driving, you can do it in the mirror, whatever. But if the more senses that you get involved, so if you're saying it and as a result of saying it, you hear it, maybe you're reading it while you say it, that will help reinforce it, and it will be part of what you start to believe about yourself. So the things that you tell yourself have a really big impact on that, which leads right into
this book right here called Soundtrack. So it's one of our favorites and discusses how to overcome overthinking. Overthinking is when what you think gets in the way of what you want. Maybe you relate and struggle with self-doubt, imposter syndrome, second-guessing yourself occasionally. Check out this.
Or every day. Whatever.
So check out this podcast. It talks about the book, and you can also get the book too.
Yeah, so we're going to put the link to the podcast. It's a Healthy Steps Nutrition podcast or Nutrition Made Simple podcast. We'll put the link in the description. So click that. Check out the book. I think it's available on Amazon. Really good thing for you. So, what's your biggest takeaway? So think back, on this. What's the area that spoke most to you, and where you are in your journey? So now that we've explored the three tips that you can start focusing on to create a winning mindset, let's take a minute to discuss the three core principles that have changed the lives of people all over the world.
Number 1, so these are the HSN core principles on the screen there.
What's HSN?
Healthy Self-Nutrition.
Oh.
So number 1, focus on whole foods first. We should start choosing whole food options and less processed foods packed with sodium, fat, and sugar. A simple way to start this is by reshaping your plate using the plate method.
All right. So, and whole foods, how do you know? We talked about this as our nugget yesterday in the gym. How do you know if something is a whole food?
Well, typically it's not going to be in a package. It's not going to have an ingredient list. It's just going to be the food.
Yep. So think, beef, chicken, green beans, peppers, onions, things like that. Stuff that doesn't come in packaging with an ingredient list.
Typically found around the perimeter of the grocery store, minus the bakery
Except
section.
for the donuts.
That does not count.
So,
even donut holes,
yeah.
that doesn't count.
So number 2, focus on a balance of macronutrients. So when we say balance, what we mean is, does every meal and snack that you consume throughout the day contain carbs, protein, and fat? That's what we're looking for, and that can be tough to do, particularly on the snacks. A lot of times our snacks are very carb and or fat focused, or heavy on those with not a lot of protein. But doing a balanced approach for all the meals and snacks goes a really long way to keeping you full, making you feel satisfied longer, and fueling you properly through the day. So pairing each meal and snack with all 3 of these macronutrients will keep you fuller longer. Most people feel their best while fueling their busy days and activity with 40% carbs, 30% fat, and 30% protein. Individual breakdowns may vary. You can work with a nutrition coach on that, but that's a kind of a good place to start.
And number 3, limit the amount of processed carbohydrates and sugar. So the AHA recommends no more than 6 teaspoons, about 24 grams for women, and 9 teaspoons for men, about 36 grams. The average person consumes over 150 pounds of sugar per year. That's 46 teaspoons per day. That's a lot of sugar. And it's not surprising. Sugar is really addicting and is hidden in almost every food product you find in a package. Especially drinks. We posted a couple videos a couple weeks ago about a different drinks labeled as like health drinks, like vitamin water and stuff. So always look at the label.
Yeah, some of them had just big pile of sugar.
Yeah.
And more than a whole day's worth in one drink, and that drink in a lot of cases is labeled as something healthy. So not so much. So, CrossFit Koinonia, we've partnered with Healthy Steps Nutrition, which is a program written, backed, and overseen by dietitians that's helped more than 45,000 people all over the world. So there's a few of the success stories that you can see there. So if you're ready to join the 45,000 people who've worked with HSN coaches worldwide, let's do this. So here's a few more of the success stories. If you want to hear more about how the program can change your life, check out the Nutrition Made Simple podcast. We'll have the link to that podcast in the description for this video as well.
And we're super excited to announce we have a nutrition coaching program, accountability program to help you. We have just contact one of the coaches, book a nutrition call today. The link will be also in the description of the video. And let's make a plan to meet your goals.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us for this nutrition talk. And click the link in the description to set up a call with us.
Check out the podcast.
Check out the podcast that they'll have in there. And then leave us some comments. Let us know what you think and how we can help you. See you later.
See ya.